Alright, in today's video I'm taking a look at this massage gun. First, I want to see a couple of images, or I want you to see a few images. That'll give you a little more detail, then we'll take a little closer look and talk more about it. Okay, so as stated, we're taking a look at this massage gun. So, first, let me show you right quick what is included. Then we'll get back to the actual unit. Alright, so first, it comes in a nice little case. It has a fairly large zipper, so it's very easy to grab hold of. And it's a semi-rugged clamshell style case. So, shouldn't have any problems with it in that regard, as far as storage or portability. You have a little user manual, your quality control certificate that shows that it passed. This is a little spare, I think there's four little pieces of rubber. The reason for those is each one of the attachments has a little rubber ring around it, so you could replace those. You do have different attachments. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6th is already installed, and it's my preference. It's sort of a foam, but it's pretty hard, but it's a foam covered ball. Has a little bit of a foam type feel to it anyway. And then you have your wall wart, your power adapter with a barrel connector. Now personally, I would prefer if this were like a type C, because it'd make it one less cable you have to carry, since most people generally these days have a type C cable for some device already, or even micro USB would be nice, but that's okay. So first and foremost, this is the third of these type of units I've been very fortunate to take a look at, and I like all of them, but this one is currently my favorite. Main reason is there's three main reasons. One, I feel like this one has at least slightly more power than one of them, definitely more power than the other, so it's more powerful. It's definitely quieter than both of the other two, and it definitely has more attachments. So for those three reasons, this is the main one I go to. Now, these are great, of course, for anyone who's working out or just has chronic pain, muscles, and different things. But for me personally, I have extensive medical problems in my past over about 30 years. And one of those results in cramping mainly in my legs, my lower legs, the muscles, mainly at night. So having this either laying in the bed beside of you or on the nightstand or somewhere close by, super convenient. For me, I've used the manual top that you kind of roll, kind of like you would a rolling pin for baking, and those work. Or I've just squeezed the muscle with my hands, and that works. However, these percussion type guns, and especially this one because it has more power, is capable of alleviating that pain. It's more deeply penetrating, and it does it much quicker. So definitely my favorite thing to use, and it definitely relieves a lot of the muscle cramps I get during the night. So the unit itself, it's not too heavy, but it does have a good weight to it. Makes it feel nice as far as the actual quality. On the bottom, you have your charging port, and you have your power switch. It just slides back and forth. We'll flip that on in a second. You have a rubberized texture to the handle here. You have a button here that you press. If you do so, this handle will actually remove from the base, from the unit. And let me see if I can do that for you. So you could charge this portion here, keep them separated if for some reason you wanted to or needed to. The housing for the batteries, it looks like there's 3 18650 batteries. Do not look like they're able to be replaced, though you may be able to cut this open if you decided you needed to way down the road. I don't think that'll be necessary for a very long time. So put this back in, make sure it's in, and it is. Okay, so other than that, for the actual attachment portion, you kind of just pull, snap right into place. You can see right there. Enter that portion there. So you just kind of push, and it'll be in there nice and solid. You have what appears to be sort of a breathing type hole area at the top and on the sides, so it shouldn't overheat. And then on this side, of course, you have your logo, your badge, your sticker, whatever you want to call it. On the back, you have your control. So once you flip this on, it's like the master power. Then you have a power here, and you have plus and minus to raise and lower the intensity. And you have your digital readout that's going to show you the intensity as well as the charge level. Now when this is charging, there is a glow to this little ring right here, and you'll see that change after it's charged, depending on how depleted you get it, how long it's going to take to charge. But I left it plugged up I don't know, between 2 and 4 hours, because I don't let it get depleted. So it doesn't take a super long time to charge, but you may have to, run it a little bit longer. You could probably leave it plugged up overnight for like 6 to 8 hour type charge if you needed to, and then you could use this thing, really depending upon which level and how often you use it. You could probably use this thing for several weeks to a month. It really depends on your choice as far as the intensity. That's going to really eat into the battery life when you're on the highest intensity all the time, so keep that in mind. So real quick, I'll flip this on. You can see the green glow there. You can see the blue illumination there, and you can see it's fully charged. This number 10 will go down as it depletes. If I hit this button here, you can see that it's begun, and just a simple tap raises it, or lowers it, or stops it. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and turn it on, and I'm going to ramp it up to the maximum so you can hear. It's actually really quiet. Like I said, in comparison to the other ones, it's substantially quiet. Substantially more quiet. Alright, so that's 30. It's the maximum. And if I do like this, you can probably hear my voice vibrate. That thing is intense. So at 30, I'm going to turn this off. At 30, when I put this like on my leg and compare this one to the other, it's really hard to put into words just how deep and penetrating, and it's a pleasant but very unusual experience that I just can't describe. But the other one feels really good, and it just shakes you. This one shakes me, but in a different way. It's more intense and deep penetrating to the point where the muscle has this, it's a really amazing feeling. It feels great. And I can imagine if I didn't have all the health issues I do, and I could work out extensively and needed recovery options, I could utilize something like this for that purpose. And I would be greatly pleased and appreciative of having that option, because I think it would be just a wonderful experience, because without having the need in that regard, it just feels good when I don't need it, on the muscles in my leg, for example, or any muscle really, but specifically my legs. But when it's cramping, as I mentioned before, I'm able to knock that cramp out really quickly. At least for me it works. Hopefully it will work for you. The only other thing you'll notice in this is this little plastic padding. I'll leave it in there just to give it some cushion, so you can remove that if you wanted to. But that's pretty much it. Like I said, I showed you, kind of how it works, what your options are. Use time is really going to vary, so I can't give you exact charge or usage time, but several hours of charging is going to give you way longer, because you're in the weeks or even maybe months if you don't use it that often. Usage, you can leave these sitting for quite a long time, but if you do that, you should probably try to charge it at the minimum at least every 3 months, and that's going to help prolong the life of the battery. Never running the battery completely out is really going to be, you know, helpful in keeping the battery usage ideal over the long term as well. So keep that in mind. I think that's pretty much it. So if you want to find out more about this, you can check out the links below. And otherwise, thanks for watching.